But anyway, speaking of who watched it, who didn't, before we close the chapter on the low point in Dynamite TV history, yes, and the apologists were already saying, well, it would have done a better number if it hadn't been all for the problems. The question is, of the people who did find the program through all of that, and having the biggest star they've signed in the past couple of years in the main event or in the last spot, did they keep the audience this week, whatever audience they were able to get?
Well, this past week's show, AEW Dynamite on TBS, October 4th, 2023, on average, was watched by 800,000 viewers.
Even. Well, okay, that's down 50 to 75,000 from what they've been doing every week, and they had extra 100,000 for their Arthur Ashe episode a few weeks ago, but obviously this had some effect. The question is, what effect did the continuing developing rottenness have from where they started to where they ended up with the biggest angle they've done in a while with the biggest star in actually quarter 9? Fuck, Jesus.
Yeah, and a few notes here. These were compiled by WrestleNomics, and this was the lowest total viewership since May 3rd for Dynamite. Also, for the record, there were Major League Baseball wildcard games on ESPN and ESPN2 head-to-head with Dynamite.
Wildcard, bitches!
That's what I ended up watching, actually, and I went back to this after the fact because I couldn't do it anymore. So competition and also whatever these DVR issues are.
And there was the all-night gas station open down the road, and how can you compete with that?
Hey, on Long Island, 24-hour bagels are the best. But quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m., Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Adam Copeland's backstage run-in, and the beginning of Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson with picture-in-picture, 804,000 viewers.
Okay, well, in that case, if they started there and they have that average, they had to go up. Was it a case of people finding the show that was mislisted or whatever? Because they can't go much farther down or they wouldn't have that average.
Well, quarter 2, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m., the continuation of Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson, Adam Cole, Roddy Strong in the Kingdom's home video, or video at home, I guess, and Wardlow versus Griff Garrison with an ad break, 788,000 viewers.
Okay, so they lost 16,000, but they're still right in the pocket.
And again, that was the segment with the audio issues. Quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m., the Don Callis backstage angle, the replay with sound this time of the Cole Strong Kingdom video, and Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed versus the Butcher, the Baker, and Kip Sabian with picture-in-picture. Oh, and the Tony Storm video, 715,000 viewers.
Jesus H. Christ. Okay.
That can't be DVR related.
No. They lost 73,000 people in a quarter, and they're going to have to go up or this average doesn't work. So what's going on here?
And again, that audio issue, no one wanted to see that video a second time, and then they played it. Quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m., an ad break, a Wrestle Dream recap, and the beginning of the Juice Robinson and the Guns promo calling out MJF and the angle with Jay White, 796,000 viewers.
So that MJ or Adam Cole and Roddy video in that quarter 3, just a bunch of people said, fuck it, we'll do anything else but watch this. So they're back up to within 8,000 of where they started from after losing 89,000 in 45 minutes.
Quarter 5, the big 9 o'clock hour, the continuation of the Jay White MJF live promo and beatdown, Orange Cassidy and Hook's backstage angle, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher with picture-in-picture, 849,000 viewers.
Good Lord, okay, a much bigger jump than normal, 53,000 folks for the top of the 9 o'clock hour, and they had their main event guys in there. But as we mentioned, that was kind of a long, burdensome thing to watch. So where'd they go from there?
Quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The continuation of the previous tag match. The post-match beatdown from Powerhouse Hobbs on Kenny Omega. 819,000 viewers.
So back down 30,000. And they're starting to, it looks like they're going to finish about the same place they started after having a couple of peaks in a valley.
Quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. MJF in the training room being massaged by Max Caster. The Samoa Joe video, and the beginning of Tony Storm versus Sky Blue with picture-in-picture. 795,000 viewers.
And they're back down around that 800,000 mark. That was 24,000 it bit the dust.
Quarter 8, and once again we do have an overrun here. Quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. The finish of Tony Storm versus Sky Blue. Stokely Hathaway's backstage promo.
Oh, I forgot. He's on the board of directors of Ring of Honor, apparently. Somehow a heel manager got on the board of directors. Go ahead.
An ad break, and the beginning of Adam Copeland's live promo. 809,000 viewers. And I'll give you the overrun here.
Well, hold on. That's another 14,000, but basically they didn't hold the audience. They lost a lot of the audience. Then they gained more of the audience. Then they lost that audience, and now they're finishing up about where they started from.
And finally, 8 minutes, an 8-minute overrun. 10 to 10:08 p.m. Adam Copeland's confrontation with Christian. 852,000 viewers.
Okay, but now was that... The program wasn't even listed to be on.
So wait, what exactly was the DVR problem? So it's not that your DVR recorded a different show in the time slot, it just recorded a different time slot for a different show?
Yeah, it listed AEW as being on from 4 to 6 p.m., so it recorded whatever was on TBS from 4 to 6 p.m. And then Young Sheldon was listed 4 episodes from 8 to 10 p.m., so you wouldn't have got that. But for the people that tune in anyway and don't worry about DVR in it, the show was in the correct time period. But what I'm asking here is that how would suddenly 43,000 people switch over into that 9th quarter hour when Edge was already in the ring? He'd already called Christian out. Was suddenly people... It wasn't a case of, I got to turn over now that it's 10 o'clock to see what's on the last segment of AEW. It was supposed to be over. So how did they get that? Was it tuning in for the next show, or people just realized? That's an odd pattern. I can't remember. We've been covering these ratings for a couple of years. They've never done their show low in the 3rd quarter. But they had a major star in the 9th quarter, and that's where they usually do the lowest number of the Dynamite show is 8th quarter or the overrun, and they did the highest. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
And neither did they. That was AEW Dynamite.